Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. I am VeerajaR.
And I'm Jeff Hardin. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. First poem, Beginning, Wide, Middle, End, by Michelle Hendrixson-Miller. Suddenly, I don't mind a snake, or this snake here in front of my boat. No thought of me, her body, concentrated, writhing, one long asemic sentence across the tablet of the river. Lovely. In fact, her skin, from this unterrifying view, color of wheat, wet clay, is almost folk art, a pattern of crochet, diamond fused to diamond, like the story of all story. Just enough danger in her swivel to still me, hands rested on oars. My desire to touch, pluck up, forever hold, for once not ruffled, not in the least. I know, I say to her, nothing I can keep.
Midlife Ineptitude, written by S.R. Lee. Saturday morning, sunlight scattered over all the confusions in the house. Energies of 3 adolescents and a collie. Lurch and scrape into the kitchen where I cook French toast in hopes that the sweetness of syrup will inspire their moods, resolve or comfort what stresses them. The collie loves the confusion of 6 legs moving around him. I silently grouch that he is not responsible for giving them a healthy breakfast, but I know sadly that he gives them more sense of well-being than can either dithering parent.
Taking up the cause of gladness, by Jeff Hardin. In the dark of a morning, an old man pours coffee and settles into reading Ecclesiastes. His days are failing, but the earth remains forever. 80 or 100 years is still not long enough to follow the flights of geese, or to learn how to be still, or to know what a single prayer has touched. What is wisdom but this scattering of stones, this ache to gather them back? From beginning to end, the soul has always lived in a future tense. Even so, the heart's gladness contents itself with how light streaming through barn slats easels the hay, rivaling Caravaggio's depictions of Christ. Quiet words spoken linger between friends. We stand already in the afterlife to come, in which all moments, all together, all at once, leap into reunion.
The next poem, Nothing Ends, by Michelle Hendrixson-Miller. Even the air recycled sometimes when I breathe and an old friend comes to mind, I wonder about that.
A Familiar Street, by Jeff Hardin. A familiar street is no longer itself. Its constitution has changed. Certain oaks, immense, iconic, have been removed. The sky's endlessness bent to touch bare earth. A generation of teachers, file clerks, shopkeepers, mechanics, and hairdressers drifted elsewhere, carried along on unseen currents. Other conclusions must now be reached, considered, examined, ascertained. A new language must be invented to think upon a language that once presided over imagination's purposes. A white Victorian is now yellow stucco. Upon what guidebook should we rely? Perhaps new psalms must be composed, more hallowed proverbs, more anguished lamentations. Academic studies show an increase in silence, in anonymity, a decrease in patience, in afternoons of verity wandering of windows' billowy curtains. Aftermaths are incalculable. No one knows if another Auschwitz is beginning, accelerating. Some unknown poet's lack of concentration means an image, a metaphor, a clarity of meaning will not enter another's conscience, leading to losses that must be added to all the other losses we live with unknowingly. Once there was a childhood, now a cellist, an accountant, a vagabond, a scholar. A stone has been moved, not rolled away. Trusted genealogies scatter. The subject is never the same subject for any two people. One whisper leads to Christ, another to someone holding a spear, thrusting it upward.
The next poem, I Lost Myself, written by Joseph G. Sanfilippo. I lost myself among the almond and the olive trees, alone, in the immensity of time ancient, in the deep silence of a place that does not invite noise. I lost myself among ruins covered by blossoming capers under the warm caresses of the African sun. I lost myself in the remembrances of my youth, alone, in the fragrances of orange blossoms, in the sweet taste of oranges, red as the blood of the poor. I lost myself in the green waves of the sea, alone, immersed in the earthly sky, suspended under white clouds, slaves of the summer wind. I lost myself in the joy of being alone, in my loneliness, in the soft breath of living, in a moment without end, in the embrace of the Father, never forgotten, present in the warm caresses of the Aeolian wind. I lost myself among ghostly friends, alone, a soul offered to an island that is not forgotten, immortal in time, the land of my father, Sicily. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you'll join us again soon.